Yemawakwaba, Batusan Hotel. We dear, Ewini Beshe, Efie Diffie, Yechiakwa Masi, Echusu Chakum, Ekodrabin Quine so. One home Joe here yenti. Ye whatever a hot way dianai. Ye normal, standard, deluxe standard, and our executive room, sir. A more Wi-Fi, DSTV, Yenkanja air conditioner, a room beer. Ye was chef Kukudama. Ye won kono shebia ubenya ye wo ishobia e modaho aye siesie no abefo kwan so ye wo agodie mu ahoto obia kesia etumi fa nipa opemienu ye wo hye wudru ye de ma han fa ye 0244 654458 0246 505327 and 0241 418645 the emails here info2sanhotel@gmail.com. Tucson Hotel FFP.
Contra 56 ambulance and 200,000 V8 signature. I know what we know vex enough, oh. We know vex enough. We know vex enough, oh. We know vex enough. They insult us so much, I wonder why we know vex. They have pushed our every button, oh, I wonder what is next. Monkey they walk, baboon they chop, baboon they chop. Them no they stop, so them belly pop, but them still they chop. Them go they chop, oh, all the money, oh. No development with the money, oh. Holy baby. No lava, I swear, this time we don't go take them out. No gangalia, one bagawaya. I swear, this time they go sell our dawa. You say you be food soldier, they follow party matter. They carry oga dirty water, present in every danger. At the end of this year, waiting you get my dear. As it get the company that these people they don't care. We know vex enough. We know vex enough. 1212 Radio Culture. Yes, let's get straight to it. Welcome to the show. This is Weekend Editorial on a weekday. And as you know, sometimes we bring you the show on a weekday when there's something that cannot wait till the weekend. And that's why we're here, because over the past couple days or so, two very important things happened. First thing that happened was that press conference that was held by John Dramani Mahama, flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress and former president. And the other thing that happened is the outdooring of the vice presidential candidate of the running mate, I should say, of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, a man I have met a few times, I've interviewed twice, and maybe some of what we spoke about may come in here as we go on with the show. But in the meantime, let me tell you that we are live on Radio Culture, coming to you from Texas, USA. This is your number one online radio platform for everything radio, music, news, sports, recreation, entertainment, everything, name it. It's word, sound, and power. My name is Kwesi E Baako, and I'm in the seat right now, bringing you this one from Studio 1, Radio Culture. Our Studio 2 is in Kumasi, and we have a litany of content that we will be unleashing onto the market in the next couple weeks or so. Our website, www.gnewsnow.com, is still under maintenance, and we will be outdooring the new face very soon. Trust me, it's going to make much more sense than the outdooring that we are here to talk about today. Again, we are live on Modern Ghana. We are live on modernghana.com. Go to modernghana.com, search Radio Culture, and you will get us. We're also live on Machuna Radio and on about 8 other platforms across the world. Whichever way you're listening to us, welcome to the show. You may also be catching us on social media. We are live right now on YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let's get straight into it. Let me start with John Mohammed's presser. A lot has been said about that, and I'm going to say very little about that. I'm going to say very little about that for now because I want to do a separate show for that and actually get into the details of all the amazing stuff that was said in that press conference. Today, my focus really is on the second event. But before I go there, let me say this to Mr. Samuel Jemfi, Sami Jemfi, aka Sami Jemfi, Communications Director of the National Democratic Congress. Wonderful young man. That guy, when I see him, I have hope for the future of my country, you know. But Sami, here, check this out. Sami, I met you in Chicago some time ago, and I specifically walked to you and asked what your plan was for the diaspora and the Ghanaian diaspora and media as we go into election 2024. Sami, you promised me that you had a plan for us. However, I messaged you on the same number that you gave me, unless it's a number that's a decoy of some sort, I don't know. But the same number that you gave me, which you have actually responded to me on before, I messaged you on that number asking to be part of the question and answer session, or at least to be part of the presser of the press conference held by John Dramani Mahama. Sami, we in the diaspora, no, and I don't say this with any air of arrogance or of uppityness or anything like that at all. All I'm saying is that people who live outside Ghana, no, some of us are very heavily vested and invested in the affairs of our country, Ghana, of our beloved country, Ghana. Things that are going on. Some of us, especially because some of us can compare and contrast, and some of us can just see the possibilities that can happen in our country, you know. We take our things very seriously. And then some of us who are in the media, in the diaspora, no, we want to be part of the discourse. So far, we're doing so on our own strength. We do so on our own effort. But let me tell you something, though. Some years ago, the NPP saw the strength of the diasporan media, the Ghanaian diasporan media. I attended on invitation many of their events. These were very effective. They raised funds based on events that were practically hinged on and promoted by, or at least attended by, the Ghanaian diasporan media. But I quite correct to say, NDC, you are not taking the Ghanaian diaspora media very seriously. You're doing a great job with the home media. As he says, sometimes, and you're not just going to your friendly stations, you even go to the hostile stations and you're doing your thing, bro. You're doing your thing. Go there, do your thing. But all I'm saying is that please pay some attention to the diasporan media, the Ghanaian diaspora media. We are part of the media of the country. After all, our remittances go to Ghana also. Some of us, GH News Now, for instance, every month, we send checks to Ghana to young people who depend on these checks for not just for their livelihood, but also for the training that they're receiving, interning with us, volunteering with us, working with us, and stuff like that. But we seem to be relegated, diminished, minimized until you show up, you know, in Abroche, and then even then, sometimes we have to chase you to get like invitations to go to your events. I'm just bringing it to your attention, bro. Please do something about that. There's a reason why I walked to you and asked you about that, because I've been trying very hard to get this issue resolved, not just for my platform. There's a dozen other diasporan platforms. All of them may not be pro your party or against your party, but it's the media. And the same way that you go to the hostile stations over there, no, if you come here and then they come to you, so what? You have your things to do, please. Anyways, enough said, Sammy. So that's for you. But I'll actually be doing a fuller review of John Mohammed's press, the presser, which I found very. Let me leave it. Let me leave my comments for that, because that's kind of like preempting the. Let me leave what I have to say for the actual show today. Like I said, I'm here to look at the fiasco that has christened itself the outdooring ceremony of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, aka Napo. Napo is a man I have interviewed before. Please go to our our YouTube page and just search GH News Now Napo, something like that, or Kwesi E Baako Napo, something along those lines. You would find at least 2 interviews that I've done with him. And some of the things that were said may come up in my discussions today. Before that, I forgot one thing. Let me pray. Let's pray, people. Let's pray. I need prayers today, because first of all, I have survived sitting through a long video full of that. Okay, let me just leave it at that, because that's what my prayer is about. I pray today that my tongue does not slip, because Dr. Mahmoud Baumia is a man who has cut his, he's who he is. He's a respectable man in his own right, everything, whereby if he hadn't stepped up to suggest that he wants to be president of this country, I would have had none to do with him in terms of trying to say anything about him. That's what I mean. Now, that said, Napo also is a man that I kind of have some respect for as well, So I pray that in my submission, my tongue does not slip against him. One person I really don't care if my tongue slips against is Akufo-Addo. But then again, I pray that my tongue does not slip against this man either. And then Kennedy Japan. These are the 4 people that I'll be examining today, and the things that they said. Please, Lord, help me so that my tongue does not slip against any of these people, because what I heard and what I'm about to discuss is very annoying. Amen. Let me load my audios and let's start.
Never. Nasa kasi mutini free anameboa. Esgracia wa yonko waje wamoa. Ekwaini ne yakango matiatra ubunie goma sumo maino nani ap bibisa kebi mami kebi yeah.
All right. Let's start with Kennedy Japan. Simple background. Kennedy Japan came out during their politicking season when they were, nudging each other around for the flag bearership, and told us that the amount of rot that was going on in the MPP, was like nothing before. Yet, against that backdrop, listen to what he's going to say. And because I have 4 audios, I can't play them and then come back to break them again. So please pay close attention to the audio as we go along, because I'll be tagging along. All right. But listen to Kennedy Japan.
Vice President, flag bearer, contest, name
Emma, the Inchiakasia, Abunyra. And then say a nigger that say, Osha, Yami vice president contest here, Emu, Insia, Ewaha, and then a trial say, party no, united. Now, and pay for baby, or say, Sacramasi on Pedidum Pea. Okay, let's start from there. Okay, sebi in previous and I can make and be the economic winter me bomb pie no because and yes I can make us say enkwasiabe with all due respect. Nane Japan, Kennedy Japan. Ghana, one of our biggest problems is enkwasiabe. Asem ni si ya ni a some nonsense a baby near their show. Kraman say some penny don't pay and just say jam one. And if an akushia Kraman or can't sankwasi asem or Kennedy Japan. Again, when I say kwasi asem, I'm not saying say sabi produce or kwasi. Now what you can't say former president Mahama with Jimmy and all of that. Into Ukraine catch one kashi and shedan wrong too much. But with all due respect, min kese wo ya kwasi, min kese with Jimmy. Me say and kwasi abe a problem in Ghana, and he just employed Kwesi Abe because after coming to tell us, say, Charlie, hey, this thing, okay. After coming to tell us, say, these people are stealing like there's no tomorrow. Usambe catcher and say the alternative is not the choice. The only way the alternative would not be the choice is say Mohammed's government was stealing more than these people. Otherwise, what the heck do you mean, Mr. Japan? Moment to us, you need to can be come. United. And the American Asante Mine said, Mapre. And this year, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prampe. And free Central region. And now Eastern region. Montio. And now Water region. And now Hafuni Abuno. And I can't say. So this year, and then as vice president, let me say another prayer. This time, let me offer a prayer of thanksgiving to God. Say one masakwa way, I'm being presidency in Hokra. Because Sanipa Way was trying to be president of Ghana. What in the Casa Oka? Kennedy Japan, I'm throwing a challenge to you. When you go anywhere, and to the whole entire MPP campaign team, when you go anywhere outside of the Ashanti region, maintain the energy. Maintain that same stupid energy. Ah, yeah, this year, no. What you say, okay, or see, you're on almost being fee, you can say central region, any northern region, any Volta region, and the country or more say. Did you hear that? It is a so-called Volta region, so we campaign. I want to say now, but Oko central regional. One kasa MP wo ho nom no. I want to say na be kwa akoka wo ho. Se monkrofo one tuma dem afrey. Osande onye yen de hye. Uja asante so oyo mo de hye into omontoma no. Into ko central regional. No akoka kire omo se omontoma no because WTF. I'm telling you, I'm throwing the challenge out to maintain that same energy. I'll be keeping tabs on you. Everywhere you go to campaign, no, I want to see you maintain that same energy. Say these same things. It seems as if the whole theme of Napo's outdooring no was or your this year or your Santini.
Yentoaso.
If you say what kasa unim adia eye and ben say ade eno de na ade so e wo fia eye dai the masram mom yamfa ekroye emra bi ba kumase no na ebinu mu bu afu masram na chitafo some free party munku ade minti min kasa party ni yadia min kobi ana min kasa alternative no enyadia ebabua be no mienu.
He's right. Alternative no. Emboa one ne sa nipa kromi no no ni gina ho a one ne kasa at that time no. Because at this point in time, the only people who would trudge over there and stand over there and listen to Baumia's again, Lord, thank you very much for reminding me because I'm trying so hard. I'll try very hard, I promise. But the only people who go over there and listen to all these things that Baumia is saying, are people who either have something to benefit or some people who just don't have the wherewithal of comprehension. I'm sorry to say. And I'll dig more into that when we come to Baumia's part when he is speaking. Because he, and no, for instance, he has a record. And you know, sometimes when you are listening to him, you kind of like cut him a slack because when he's no there, when you saw Mike Mupepepa, acha third line, I was say starting. Acha third line. Ochiawe, naso ka some Papa Baako pe third one net so. And you know there, you know. But this is Kennedy Japan. Okache and said these people are stealing like there's no tomorrow. Kennedy Japan Okache said almost try some bribing with $800 million. Dollars, bro. Dollars. Kofo wemo $800 million. Somebody be money pa Baako pe. So on step aside. Two things. Either say yampa almost can be brave almost via ADACA and a Ghana for home cherabo. And now Kennedy Japan boy. Either or. And both either or no and yet better scenario be am famobia. Let's finish with this guy and move on to the others.
Now 2024 Yanyako Emon party and by François Muti party Nanim Amma grassroots no Abufua Bamuno Mufri Hana Mumfred grassroots.
Let's just end it there. I think I've got the substance of what I wanted to play from his speech. He goes on talking about Omunkopa grassroots show and all of that. That's their own business. Of course, that's something they need to do, regardless. Whether somebody Akumapa is another thing, right? But of course, all the arrogance that they've displayed, no. And the funny thing is, they haven't stopped displaying the arrogance, even at this very event, no. The arrogance that you will see that being shown. Kennedy Japan was the most, all the IATCC, this was the most measured of the speeches. This was the most measured of the speeches. And to be honest with you, the only problem that I have with Kennedy Japan is that after telling us that these people are bleeding us dry, even if you are with them, I can understand him somehow. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. Because also the president ni BAD. And truth of the matter, he said, if he doesn't show up today, on him say next time somebody will not show up for him. So he has to show up. Okay, crampo. And no show up so next kasa. Untimin kasa on kasa. Into wama coded message be me dem tina se pa do kan matia se pa. However, choose your words wisely, sir. To come and tell us that the alternative is not the option, no. What are you saying? What are you saying? Baumia is part of the Nkofona also more kasa no. And I will say the alternative is not the option. It's not just say you are condemning Ghana to another term of a kleptocratic government. We never vex enough. No, sir. Okay? Yafa Kennedy Japan too, because and then Ankasano, my main issue pa me baha say, hey, with Napo. And if you will tag along with me, please, I'll build till I get to Napo's blasphemy. Many things have been said about Napo. Or you're arrogant, or you're dear, or you're dear, or you're dread, or you're hunter, or you're dear. Bro, listen, hey. But this thing now and ne, why you know, to me, is the one cardinal sin for which Napo should never go near the presidency. Never. We'll get to it. But before then, no, Mominti, the second soundbite, no. This is President Akufo-Addo speaking at the same event.
Fourth Republic, 1992. Jerry Rawlings. With all due respect, on my penia otia kunyaso, anka wo be so advice nsa ede na chese monto abama no me de nka me hu ye ka be kese oh ye ba ye monhwe de ayaye ni se a wo kra concrete proof o enye de abawumia ebe ba be ye no because and they send the concept kra ye be proof say a concept for those who are too slow to realize say or no the comedy show na yo ye no. But what I'm saying is say on my penny and ka wo ba ka be kese oh aman for monhwe de ayaye ni se enti no monhwe so na obegina ho no munti asem a oka. And he's master of this guy, Akufo-Addo. He's master of this type of politicking. Whimsical, empty, slogan-filled politicking. Muntie. No, sir. Point of correction. Let's get something straight there. Let's just correct something really quick before we move on. Facts are important. Never. That never happened. That never happened. You, sir, organized the coup. You should be tried for a coup. Because 8 people died and 4 different results were announced. And Parliament was invaded before you became president. The Supreme Court used some obsolete English law, which they superimposed over the constitution of our country before you became president. So let's get that clear. Nobody made you president twice. It did not happen. That did not happen. Ghanaians voted you to the presidency once. And let's turn it around, Mr. Akufo-Addo. You, sir, are the first president in his very first term. Ghanaians turned him straight around. Obeke says the same for John Mahama, but John Mahama had served a bit of, President Mills's term, and had indeed also served as vice president. He had been in government. Within the first 4 years, Ghanaians saw it, said, yeah, a mistake. No, sir, let's vote this guy out. And then you had to come and kill 8 people and did all the shenanigans to come to power. So let's get that straight.
Fanon Condem, Fanon Kocha, Akufado, and to whom says how they way, it doesn't win you nothing. Oko Jina saying not, Ekoko is the same in same way, won't notice and fashion bro. Won't notice it. But of course, one casa idea be no beka. One casa tro chantro, so we see airport. Airport on Kwan in him. And you won't have the cool. Wone won crofo na mugu ho na wone omo kasa ne de yetemo asese mo de monum na keka mo na motiti nte na obetin aka da opebia but ma men kai wo enye wo na wo de obi abeko Ghana fo ne decided that o Akufo Addo Ghana fo decided that say you are bad news and so is Bawumia. Let's go on. Yehuni sanu ejumada. Eye no kra yehuni sanu ejumada. Say Akufo Addo, yehu E-blocks. Yehu Kotoka Terminal 3. Yehu KJTR. Yehu chip compounds. Yehu Circle Dubai interchange. Yehu other interchanges. Yehu road networks, Cocoa roads. Need I go on? Yehu port a projects, no? Should I say more? Yehu nina. But one case yehu wants to so one sandwich mon. I will say nanka obeka sa nanka inya basis to compare. Show us. Show us. Are you true yehu in sandwich man? This is why we want him back. Yehu in sandwich man. I don't think a person back. Can't you see? Who can't put a whole market team NDC for the candidate now more? Because who catch us a motion in sandwich man? Yes, a motion in sandwich man 4 cedis to the dollar. In sandwich man 16 cedis to the dollar. One sandwich man. She talk about. And to us. Okay, and yehu so nsa no adwuma and ye say si form adwuma no wabon untimi nye. Same indices.
And then the Mapa has a Bible empty before Unila Obia Alpha Bakoya and tie something you phone me a new etching. What you were in Tamoa, could him dear no M by Alpha. The Samo about to our bay. So where I say, your friend you have to say, Alpha Bakoya and tie Mamma Baobia, any Matthew Poku, grandpa etching.
Then they didn't when the country's money is lodged in some people's accounts and some people can't even afford food. And to change. And Jimmy say because they told change. Akufo Addo, I speak to some MPP people, some of these same people who used to invite me to those events back in New York, no. Those people that used to carry you around when you come to America, no. I will say, no, who say how many of them are still in that ring? Do you know how many of them are in Alan Chamatin's circle right now? Or more no move raising funds now New York, no. Not just New York, the whole of America, Philadelphia, DC, all those places. Or more no move raising funds now, no. Ghana boys, no. Have you checked how many of them are still Alan Chamatin camp? How many of them are still in the MPP but are disillusioned? I will be just a young fan check. Sir. And so scanning Cayman Islands, so. No. These people take us for fools, bro. They take us for fools. Let's leave this guy alone. And Americano, all these things. First of all, okay, all right. Let's go on to the next soundbite. All right, the next soundbite, no, yeah. Oh God, Baumia. Disclaimer: a lot of what he's going to say, 90% of what he's going to say, belongs inside the Ebina Odo 90 aswa na eswe BSA no now the Bibia tum na we unite na cantum inside the Ebino 90% of the mobile betting no mutieria momwa na mofanko to side dim Odo 90 aso na ebia now they tum you different types ebi okra do nsa na ebia now they tum ebi okra pa yankata aso no nse na ebi kroso ho ma utimi ni se no white say buckets why said they old yes, but when you listen to things like this, it enrages you because before say ode or mine be share deep binsa. No be messing up. No be no be saba be jina with him. I insult you as if say you don't have brains. Na owiar wasan catch or say or samba be another time if you ho. With the arrogance say upe wumpe obeye. Let's listen to Mahamudu Baumia, doctor.
Nancy Anchebia Namiko, National Council, as presidential candidate, Eko Kantro Muse, me running mate, Oho Umunyina Ejitumu. Na we abechirese MPP, internal elections nina abe
People. No kra akwa we beka e wasem obeka ni mu na wakan wie no asem okan ni no kra wo mu a e na wakan wie no say elections ni na abewie ye. That's the truth. Now brace up for a bucket full of hogwash.
We are now a well-oiled machine for the 2024 presidential campaign. Abaya yebeto 2024 ye yedachi abana yebeto.
My bad. Doctor, my apologies. Mamima another 5% in Kahon. Because the Obe can wait no. And also very true. In fact, and even more true. And instead of 5 in the crown, mamina 10 amount. To overall, the find say, the 20%. It was substance. Thank you very much, doctor. Let's continue.
It is about the future. And what choice was our election in him?
Fact. Fact.
Because election is a choice between former President John Mahama and the current flag bearer and Vice President Dr. Baumi.
Obvious.
That is the choice. A choice between the future and the past. The past president will onward the president pay, and he failed. Me a vice president, me the president, but obieje to me say, me I am the most effective vice.
Oh Lord, where's my? Okay. I shall see you. Did you brace up? I hope you had time to buckle yourself. I hope you had time to put on your seatbelts. So far, because the bumpy ride has started. Or say, or the most effective. Say, they indices scrapping us, or they, again, I don't get it. And then yardstick crowd now, or the measures had there now, non casa born home most effective, no, me who. But you they all can into us.
President in the history of Ghana.
There be Obi Anjintum, that's a lie. Obi ni ho jitum. Opa yenko your opinion polls is here. Opa is here. Hey, Richard, I'm giving you an assignment. On your next episode of Street Parliament, no. And guys, let me say this. There will show be on GH News now. It's called Street Parliament. Every week be it's called Street Parliament. We go out there and we let the people who appointed the parliament, no, speak. So we know what they want the parliamentarians to say. All right. It's called Street Parliament. It's on GH News now. It's on our YouTube channel. If you go there right now, you find that content. Next one, Ayebeyeno. Opa, Richard, go out there and go put that question out there. Say, Mahmoud Bawumia say, are the most effective vice president in the country so far. And let's get some vox pops going. I promise you, Dr. Bawumia, I'll bring you results on this, okay? And let's put it to rest because it's not true. You are not the most effective by any stretch of your warped up imagination. Gold for oil. Scam deal like that. That's what the ball wants some running. Say Antonio Frost why gold for oil. Such a scam deal. Many grandpa come in boss idea and soda. Because who has gold? Gold is a standard. Gold is a standard. What's my for gold? Say me they call oil through a third party. When you can sell gold directly and buy oil with the money. Is there some wisdom behind that? You did not let us know that. Yantuaso.
And this is for Omujitu. Vice President Ghana have from independence. Unya Vice President away Juma Asin Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
Na Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Ejuma no wahi. Ejuma na wahi no. E wahi. Oka pepe say digitization. Digitization, so Bianim say, fiber optics were laid down before you came in power. Obianim said the infrastructure for the digitalization, no, it had already been said before you came. So even if we were daft enough to say we're giving you credit for that, Impona, what else? I have instituted so why you any vice president in Ghana. Show us. Would you and he said, oh, the dollar, if 4 cities, equals 16 cities. 4 equals 16 Musain. When you what be jaw kasama counting in our betete, Abeshe will be. Yantuaso.
2024 election. It's about going forward or going backwards. The future or the past. Whether we want digital transformation or nkuko kiti.
Wow.
That is the choice between us.
Again, crowd. What is that? What is that? What is that? Vice President, I will walk abaimu. When your opportunity be say, and Kabija hono se mon share Pualugu tomato factory na Pualugu dam na ko kind of buka usim no. And kesi ho ampa and Kaba dan ko akese monhwe we enti ye ba no na what be just say do you want digitization no and kokon kiti. Sakwa no there's a method to his madness but Bawumia sometimes motion and he's not daft like that there's a method to his madness. I did a show on this. Or ko tumfo ni mu a motion how sikasa. The kasa is different when he goes before tumfo because he knows that that's one person he cannot mess with. Anybody else will be joining him and done in a concert. Move for stage, or can't say, then it diverts your attention from the realities, from the actual issues that have to be discussed. Sometimes he enrages you for a purpose. So that instead of discussing issues, no, you are discussing the absurdity of the things that he says.
Yeah, quite digital. And yes, sir. Because we share MPP under the leadership of Leonardo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Under very trying circumstances.
And the ass kissing begins.
And yes, sir. COVID buyer, Ukraine war buyer, and then Our performance on the economy is superior to John Mahama's performance on the economy.
How is that possible? When you have taken the dollar from 4 cedis to 16 cedis, how is your performance superior? How is it that John Mahama went to the IMF, yes, but used that opportunity to turn things around in the country? And you went to the IMF and we're still crawling on our knees. How is it that you took pensioners' monies and told them, say, skinny hot, haircut, and tell us, say, performance on economy are better than John Mahama? You think we're stupid, or you are here to joke, or what are you doing, Baumia? And thank you, Lord, because so far, I'm also holding my tongue nicely. I wish you could see what really is inside of me that I want to say, that for the sake of trying not to make this an effort, because sometimes you can't hold it back. Sometimes you just have to let it out. And to be honest with you, how many minutes I can show? No, I can't promise you, say something may not fly out. But you hear things like this, it just makes your blood boil. Because this is nonsense.
Far superior. We should indicate as now, and we will be getting into our records.
Indicators, Ben, Mr. Economist. Indicators, Ben, are working. Indicators, Ben. And no mudi bring of phone any sooner. Okojo no akabra for indicators. What be indicators? Nipa no mujina hona or mobile ben pono. 3/4 of them don't know what the word indicators even mean. I'm not saying this in a derogatory manner. It's a fact. These people pander to people who they can deceive.
They don't want to talk about records. We will talk about the record.
No, lies are not records. Lies and your records. Mutimi printed book, some achievements, some workers, some kwasa I can say, oh, we crab, we mistake, we create and things like that. Mutimi the public toilet, 3-seater water closet, 3-seater water closet. A buying achievement. Ashanti Regional Minister Kotna radio so on one kasa ni kumase hono on board projects 5 pe wintimi and Bobby or say first lady and ababesi bibi ewo hospital bi ho baby. Still, Yenya Jackson Park full of people. This is what I'm saying. Because in Kofoni, there are people the hopelessness now. Again, I'm not saying this in a derogatory manner. It's just people feel like people have resigned to hopelessness. People feel like, say, oh, they don't deserve any better. There are people or mono politicians Nti Akufo-Addo first canoe so the koko to na the Cayman Islands account movie no abeka che so let's forget about it. Moka yosafo mafo oni Aisha Wang ekoko ye galamse wie ya fe Aisha Wanga omugya no and obegina New York ejimi ne ho say obegina one of these cities ejimi ne ho so enyahwe momani coordinate omukọ me my alone. These people think we are stupid.
Virtually every area, we are superior in performance than the NDC. Superior. We are superior. We perform better.
Okay, you see, please mark that for me. Okay, or say Moshe Dumsoa. First, or say we are superior, and or catching on say we performed better. We performed better. Nature say, well, admit say Dumsoa no whole, but they performed better. How did you perform better? By bringing the badge that you're kind of saying John Mahama brought to the country, transporting it from Accra to Kumasi, Anatema to Kumasi or wherever, and only perform better, Where is the perform better? Na podi ene subeba. Ono je nkwe bufuchen ubia. Ye studio wo Kumasi. 4 out of the 7 days in the week, we're trying to do a morning show and they can't do it. Oh, no, oh, Ras, they do light. Oh, Ras, with the Oseko generator. Oh, Ras, now they quit the Oseko generator. 4 days in the week after week. And so, catch any pan or modas house now, say, doom so ni hone doom CC. These people think we are stupid. We never vex enough.
Yes, sir. Agricultural growth, we perform better. Industrial growth, we perform better. And yes, sir, job creation, we perform better. Usha, roads, we perform better. Railways, we perform better. Usha, hospitals, classrooms, we perform better. We perform better. Zongo development, we perform.
Which Zongo did you develop, Baumia? Zongo for some Tugusa Aqua Ways on Amobono. Who saw them doing anything? Which Zongo?
I swear, this time we know we'll take them out. No Gangalea, on Bagawaya. I swear, this time they go slow down.
Baumia, Zongo development. Which Zongo did you develop? Which Zongo have you developed? Show us.
Better. Court buildings, we perform better.
Court buildings, na muko bu judges fear gu ye. Etu amina, somebody basic cathedral no. And I'm performing better no. We never vex enough.
Usha, digitalization, we perform better. Ghana card, mobile money interoperability. So it is clear that as far as the economy is concerned, we have challenges. But against John Mohammed's record, our record is superior. And we will challenge them any day to bring their record on every sector.
This guy's a joker, I tell you. Baumia is a joker. Ghanaians, don't take this guy seriously. Can I say one more prayer? Dear Lord, please don't put a demented person in the Flagstaff house next year. Let the saints say amen. Please, Lord, don't put a demented person, a person who believes that he has built airports that nobody else can see, a person who believes his own lies, a person who pukes and thinks it's food. Please, Lord, keep such people away from the presidency coming next year, because Ghana needs redemption. Our country is already set way too far back. We cannot afford a joker in the Flagstaff house. What we need is a generational thinker, somebody whose policies are pro-youth, somebody whose policies are pro-people, somebody who thinks about building things that benefit people, not borrowing because they are benefiting from it. We never vex enough. Because the time is already fast spent. But the main one is Napo. I'll be right back with the Napo one. And let's hear his blasphemy.
We know vex enough. We know vex enough. Oh, we know vex enough. They insult us so much. I wonder why we know vex. They have pushed our every button. Oh, I wonder what is next. Monkey they walk, baboon they chop, baboon they chop. Them no they stop.
Okay, now let's go and listen to Matthew Opoku Prempe, aka Napo. Na Napo Eyobia. I tried, but I'll still keep trying. Because honestly speaking, Obina no kasa. Me sheda ente substance bia womo. Every time you Obina no I interviewed Napo twice. I mentioned this before in this same show. Every time I asked him a question, no, his response to me was as if, say, I was an NDC person asking him the question. He assumed automatically, say, maybe because I'm not part of their paid press corps, you know, this one has to be in the opposite camp. When they were in opposition, please, people, go to the GH News Now website and find those interviews and watch them for yourself. First interview, I mean, in the year, no more opposition. Marked difference. He was talking about how they were with some voters register issue that they were picking up with John Mahama at the time. They wanted the new voters register or something to that effect. And you could hear all that, you know. Since then, the next time I interviewed him, he was Minister of Education. Ubisa the question be the way he responds to you, know, as if so no was him. But your friend on Tunche. But yet me fan Tunche, to be honest with you, because that actually is the core of his behavior at this place. The tone of his voice, his body language. Have you seen that video making the rounds where he was like, oh no, because of Vice President on the day of your inauguration? Edian Kwan is CNT and Nipa Baby say, Untimi fan Shan one Napo, Ujeni Pema, Utun Sas or ye den. When you saw your dish and I ento no. Now I beg to say, and I try to stay far away from certain types of issues and things like that, you know. But let's just face it. Name what currency your association with Mensha is going to bring you, even within the Asantema itself. Because there are a lot of Asantis who are pissed with the government. And I don't know if your association with Mensha can change that. I'm just saying. Right? I'm just saying. Be that as it may. Yentie Napo. Na yen make up your mind, say, between this guy and the Professor Nana Opokwajimai, who would you rather have as the Vice President of Ghana?
And from my fire, MPP party.
You see, the ass kissing started with Baumia, and it's intensifying with this guy. Or since Aqua Winkwan or Baya in film watching a common murder. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? Just today, I was watching a video on social media. This woman who sells foodstuffs in the market, and these are the real experts. Oh, some more economic indicators, Baumia, who indicators na wokano. Anything I say, the whole cost street parliament, no, because these people have the real indicators. The woman who sells at Agbabloshi or some place like that was saying, say, this is the first. Also, no, your war no. What ton they would jump for years. This is the first time Enyadwa, Nkrumah, tomatoes, meko, any jene, nini na eboye din at the same time. Or say normally no, the norm ne say, the war ne say, a woman nebia entos boye din, na jene boy for kakra, na meko boy for, woman as a balance bi say, a woman na entos boy be din, na wesu de ne kofom, sa na market na yes sao. For the very first time, no, mami we say, this is the first time I want who say, meko, enyadwa, jene, nini na boye din at the same time. Napo, ejina hoka chire, enkofu ekom diomo, say, ekom, ni Ghana for the past 8 years. Are you not insulting these people? Are you not insulting all Ghanaians? Why am I surprised? Isn't this the same guy you're catching about Dumsa or catches a young conco yankase timetable? Nana. Monteshe, Montuaso, Yentuaso. If you are saying a check come a Ghana way, Diani. A him for time being. What these people are delusional. Of course. Because the fear aduane wo ho. The fear aduane wo ho. A common din ebusuani bia. And of course, aduane wo Ghana.
So your babu now or MPP as some American and say, oh, some
Let me prep you people. Obeka nkwasiasem kakraka baako, which is actually the premise of this show, which is the cardinal sin that I referred to at the beginning of the show, and said he would never be forgiven for that. And because of that, he does not deserve to be vice president. MPP for the same me, I did Marcus and Mokas and Mobet file punching. And now chain Namo de Mokales Nabono. Still a mobile tuamano. Ain't you know, we don't have any say. Mean case Napoya or punching or chain. Me say Mose Munya punching or chain crab mobile tuamano. Ain't you know, nobody has a say in who you choose to be your candidate, right? What you see maybe. But as far as Ghana goes, no, this guy has to go sit somewhere. Oh. All right. And the so Akufo-Addo emba ne dia ba ne hemfa eno ne dia ono ankasa Akufo-Addo no e ka kire en say next government ene beba be fix rot no eno ne ndi da so no I was kissing. I don't think so, but I.
President Akufo-Addo call retirement. But to be sacrificed, we was that a free state Ghana from 1957.
Munti. Muntio, Asemini.
Messi free 1957. Bakanya, Mofamo Kwame Nkrumah, Mofamo.
Muteye. Or say a free 1957. Mofamo Kwame Nkrumah no. How dare you? How dare you, punk? Why Kwame Nkrumah no? Napo, are you referring to Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah? Or no asem na wukenya na gwiase ben the woman and saying people like Napo, it's me a kasotia Kwame Nkrumah. You are saying the woman no. The other day, Kwesi Pratt was on a show with this guy called Miracles Abuaje. Now, Kwesi na so my uncle Kwesi, with all due respect, a man of your pedigree. No, I can't radio so with Miracles Abuaje. Niti ko mama ope one can't show ni power ni ko show no so ansa na wo kwa na. Na hwe de wo si koko Jimmy ne ho brought you down to his level. But that's what I'm saying. This MPP is breeding some people be omo bi omo anu a. Asema ebeba no. You feel like throwing up. Omo Kwame Nkrumah no. Listen, mame rewinding the kakra. We need to hear this again. Listen closely.
Ghana from 1957. The president be our Ghana China and
Listen.
1957.
Mofa Kwame Nkrumah no. Kwame Nkrumah no. Napo in the quest of power no ubedi di atema akwa kodi di osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah a oje omani si ho no atem. Nintu company a wo ye cry enti de Nkrumah e wo den na ye. You could have said what you want to say Napo nim nyansa. And I'm not saying this as an insult. I'm saying this because we are assessing him as somebody who is potentially going to be our vice president. And I don't want somebody with this level of IQ to be my vice president. Napo doesn't have the wherewithal up there. Because as somebody you could have said exactly what you want to say without bringing Kwame Nkrumah into Asema Wokanokra. Kwame Nkrumah no. And how dare you? And these people want to keep doing that all the time, comparing Akufo-Addo to Kwame Nkrumah. The sheer absurdity of it. The sheer absurdity of it. Akufo-Addo de nanka mo didn't compare ye General Akufo mo. Obisa General Akufu nanka ye can say kutuka buzia sankofo no. Omo mo nheda ni signature bia e wo Ghana so no. That's what I'm talking about. Because so far on my penny or Sajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, need I say anything? Need I? His fingerprints are all over Ghana. His spirit hovers over Ghana. Ghana and Nkrumah are inseparable. Nafa kutuka for Buzia. Where is Buzia's? Somebody show me one thing that we can point to and say Buzia in Ghana. Somebody. Anybody. Kutuka, and they told Kutuka International Airport, which is a travesty. Where is his imprint? All these other people, Akufu. But before Akufu, no, there came a man called Ignatius Kutu Achampong. His fingerprints are all over Ghana. University of Ghana, the annexes, that's Ignatius Kutu Achampong. Operation Feed Yourself, that's Kutu Achampong. Yentua policy, that's Kutu Achampong, not stupid go for oil policy. Policies are nyansa wom. Kutu Achampong's fingerprints are all over Ghana. Onufi Honom, Akufu. Where is Akufu's legacy? Where? Show me somebody. And then came a certain Jerry John Rawlings. His fingerprints are all over the country. Rural electrification. Women empowerment. Came at a time when there was famine. People had been deported from Nigeria. Do you remember, people? 1983. Rawlings got into the gutter, took off his shirt, took the shovel, left his fingerprints on Ghana. Ivan Sata Mills, Abuadzi plant, gas, you're kind of saying, within that short space of time, now Professor Mills, a president, that very short space of time, he left an imprint. John Dramani Mahama. Oh gosh, did I start? E-blocks? Need I start? I've already gone through that. Let me not waste time with that. His imprints are all over Ghana. Now, Akufo-Addo, show us your imprints over Ghana. How dare you? Say Napo, Jahonom, Akufo-Addo. Kwame Nkrumah. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? There's a certain level of daftness that can be tolerated. There's a certain level of stupidity that can be tolerated. I'm saying there's a certain level of stupidity that can be tolerated. And so when you be there, na say ufu say with Jimmy, bear in mind, say obe tolerate you only for so much. A could do point be who say nah. How dare you? Kwame Nkrumah no. What is wrong with you? That's why I wanted to focus. He goes on to say a lot of absurd nonsense. But none of what he says pissed me off more than this part of what he said. Kwame Nkrumah no. In the same breath as Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo wa yadia mo manyi chen obia ono beje afahudie ma Ghana. O see all these factories o set the foundation of the country no. Akufo-Addo obefa dollar from 4 to 16 or dey call IMF or my haircuts wo wie ye sika nyina no ono ayade chen Kwame Nkrumah. Nakasi ye gimi says enko. But you know what? Let me round up. Adiasa. I have to go get some sleep. But before I go, let me round this up. These people, no, they were talking to who they were talking to. Omunim, omu audience. They are master of that. But unfortunately for them, no, what they don't realize, they say, we are living in the AI age. Oh. We are living in the age. Baby. Especially at an event like that. And even though you are talking to your party faithful, no, you should still have some decorum. Because you go out there and campaign. And in a puppet me show the name of Volta Region campaign after all the nonsense he said about Volta Region. And these people, Omuko Volta Region, Naso Obi, bold enough, be so say, Tamamu Kumase no, Namose Omoye into Montoma. Enti yenso so no gonja for so hana yaba no yeso ye kwa akoto ama John Mahama ye ntoma and as yenso so ye fi ha say no Napo mfi anti ye ntoma no. How would you respond to that? And enyo no kwa Kennedy Japan said that, Akufo-Addo said that, Bawumia himself said that, and Napo said that too. And just to say it is the position of the party. Said their whole campaign is going to hinge on Napoya Santini this year. Now, the whole Ashanti region, can you even win this election? NDC, let me tell you something. So almost strategy, no more cano. They said no, it's obvious. It's going to start and end from Ashanti region. Because MPP is not paying no mind to any other region. None. MPP for and they don't care because I don't know which I have some. There's a show. If people, do you remember some time ago there was this Nigerian journalist or car said there was a group in Nigeria that was funding Bawumia's campaign. No, so we will revisit it. We will revisit it because some things are surfacing that we have to look at closely. But what I'm saying is, NDC, pay close attention to Kumasi and the Ashanti region. And while you're at it, no, but some of the chiefs, no, set up some surveillance on their civil surveillance on their activities, on their going out and their coming in, and in their houses and stuff like that. Because I'm telling you, whatever it is they are planning, no, it is from Kumasi that they are planning to do it. So be warned. And once again, Sami Jenfi, I'm telling you, you need to be more sensitive to the Ghanaian diaspora media because we are here too. And your Peace FM, Adom FM, Joy FM, Kwane media, and the Kofi TV. From I've seen his. You can't say you have seen President Mahama grant interviews to Kofi Media, right? So it's not like say maybe they don't even grant interviews to. Maybe they only grant interviews to mainstream media or anything like that. It's not even like that. And that would be a mistake if that was the case. Because in this day and age, sometimes, Sami, news if Ghana, but we hear it first from social media before we even trace it to source. Okay? But we are not a social media platform. We're a full-blown media house. We have a website, we have our online TV, we have our online radio. And of course, the social media elements also. Enough said. My name is Kwesi E Baako. I come in peace. I come not to please. I'm bouncing out of Studio 1, Texas, USA. Until this weekend. At the set time, I will still come back because I'll be coming back to review former President Mohammed's presser, which unfortunately we applied but were not invited to. So, I mean, I could have typed my questions to you and you could have just asked on my behalf, right? Or I could have phoned in or something. And it covers all of us as well. And I'm reminding you once again, the amount of money that we send home, this same platform, the amount of money that it pays to volunteers and staff and support staff and everything, no, it's substantial. So it's only respectful that you reciprocate that by adding us to your activities, because we had questions to ask too, right? We're still Ghanaian, so maybe Ghana passport, maybe American. I'm not American. I still have my Ghana passport. I'm 100% Ghanaian. I don't live in Ghana, don't mean I'm not Ghanaian anymore. Enough said. My name is Kwesi E Baako. I come in peace. I come not to please. Thank you very much for doing the tuning in. I'll see you on my next show. Goodbye. Shine your eye, so say you go down your grind, more way, go pop in time, pop in time, more way, shine your